come back from recess. And we are on the appraisal budget 20 dash 00. And so let me just start with we have the assessor here. Normally we just go through this line by line and ask questions. If we have questions. Do you have anything you want to say to start us off with?
Maybe when we finish.
When we finish, okay. I don't know if we have any questions or not, but I appreciate you being here to answer.
I think we did have one question.
Talk about an adjustment. On my spreadsheet, I didn't see Corey on there, so there's an employee that was left off, so I have to adjust that. Maybe she found out about this morning.
On the one that looks like this.
So on the way,
You have, do they have this one?
no,
We left Corey out.
yeah, I didn't see him on the bottom of the sheet. There was nothing beside him. It's way over on the side, but I didn't see it, so.
I mean, if you want to.
So I will have to add him in, so that will increase salary and.
Since,
No,
since
Yeah.
then,
Corey, Caitlin's retired. So,
we
She
can,
retired?
she
you know,
quit.
yeah.
Oh,
We can put her,
So-
we'll put him in that one. That's where his name will go.
Oh.
So it'll change some,
okay.
but
So we won't be filling that position either then?
that's Corey's filling
budgeted.
that position.
Right, we budgeted one as a half position.
Yeah.
Yep,
Mm.
we're not gonna do the half one.
Okay, so that was my question.
Okay,
I
so
got no questions on this one. We went through this, didn't
it
we?
was Caitlin or Katie? Which one, Caitlin?
No,
No,
No, we have some
this
questions.
one, okay.
And we had a half one down with another.
right, yeah, the
That's-
half with, the-
Jerry's decided that we can do without that half one.
so we won't do a half one.
Yep.
Okay.
John's still there.
Okay, so are there any questions from the commission on the salary line? For field appraisers
We
overtime?
got that answer.
We just got that
All
answer.
answered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any questions from the commissioners on the benefits? I think that all follows.
That'll
Yeah.
follow with, yeah.
All right, then we move down to the expenses, travel. I see a slight increase there. Is that, my question would be, is that more people training and traveling? Or is that just the cost of travel and training going up?
It's you travel. They're doing the St. Joe this year. In addition to what you just mentioned, so that's always more
Okay,
gasoline, maintenance, those type of things.
goat buttings.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to up our medical for
I haven't
that.
been by one, but I've been charged by it.
I feel like I'm being charged by everybody. Yeah. All right, office supplies, copier, fax, any questions on administration costs? About the same, little decrease. Fuel is up, and I assume that's again the St. Joe and
And yeah, just price increase a year ago.
anybody see anything on page 2 that they have any questions on?
We asked a question about the postage. I figured you guys could explain what you use that for out of the appraisal.
That's usually for the postage, this one's usually for the postage machine, and I just haven't refilled it yet. That's what this will
And
be
you'll do
for.
it like at the end of the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what,
Mhm.
someone had me write it down.
So actual in 2022, there's no, you didn't use it, or are we not?
I'm not sure, I would think I know we filled the postage machine, but maybe I coded it wrong or something.
Yeah.
I know we filled that, I usually fill that for the end of the year.
What are your lease payments for? Is that for vehicles?
That is the last one. Yep,
Yeah.
this is last year for that one.
Okay. Any other questions on page 2?
No,
Page 3? Just for my own knowledge, what is sales tax here for? What are we paying sales tax on?
That, they had that put in as a line item a couple of years ago, just some of the stuff we purchased.
Hmm.
It's hard to get the sales tax taken off it.
Hmm.
So
Okay. Just was curious about that one. And then are you guys on a copier lease or are you buying one?
And that's on the other
we're
one.
currently on lease. That's my understanding. We're gonna purchase those outright.
Yeah, and that was under the
And-
assessor.
The assessor.
Under
Right.
assessor, yeah.
It's not on this one.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
I know the one we use up on the fourth floor is,
You must own that one.
Oh,
Ah.
yeah,
You must
right.
own that one.
It was
We
a
own
hand me
that
down
one, yeah.
probably
yeah,
from,
but
Yeah.
sometimes if
So
you
it's
see,
not
well,
in this.
oh, like, there's a good chance the one he takes out of our office, which is just barely running. It's, sometimes he'll donate it to us. And then he can use it for a tax write-off and we can use that up on the fourth floor
Mhm.
instead of having no copier at all.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Any questions on,
and this involves Ken's office also, is that our copier plotter downstairs for mapping and scanning and
Mhm.
stuff is kind of on its last legs. He's done, well,
He told
he's
us
left
today.
now, but that could have a $2,000 expense to it. And
That would be a capital expense.
yeah,
And that would,
and we share those expenses with Tammy's office,
split the cost of the ink.
paper and upkeep,
Right.
so. It's budgeted in at that 20.
That's what wasn't probably, we haven't used it. but
Yeah,
After today's conversation with him.
there's a good chance we're gonna be using it by the end of this fiscal year.
Mhm.
out of which line?
Capital expenses.
Oh, the capital.
So currently, the capital expenditure is only cutting your printer
Is what?
Is the-
or your copier,
this one,
the one under a session. Mhm.
right?
It can't cover the plotter.
It's not in there now.
The appraisal.
Are you looking this fiscal
I
year or
am
next
looking at a
fiscal?
session.
Oh, okay.
For,
Are you looking for the plotter to be out of this
Appraisal
fiscal
or
year?
just-
it probably will.
Okay, so this fiscal year, we have 1,800, which I'm looking at the wrong one. Capital, we have nothing for capital.
Oh, the actual one?
Nope, we haven't had capital in there for a long time.
Hmm.
So,
So we need to get it.
What do we need to do to fix that?
we need to-
For an expense or appraisal?
Yeah, appraisal has 2,000.
And
it's not an appraisals thing. It's a
Are you looking for
assessor's
assessors?
thing
Yeah.
and under clerk, I have 5,000 in capital that I've not spent yet.
maybe we could pull it out of there. I mean,
We probably have to do the other of it.
but I think Tammy's like me, how many window 8 machines do you have?
How many? 8?
Yeah,
0 with window 10.
you're all up to 10. We've got several 8s, and that's one of the problems with
So it won't work with the 10,
it.
Windows 10.
Well, what's down there running that one is an 8, and it fried the hard drive on it
Oh.
because it is an 8.
We
Okay,
had some 7s that DJ swapped out.
Yeah,
We had some of those. but-
we
He
got,
just told us before we walked in here.
Oh,
and I think my machine is an 8,
Mine's E
Hey.
folder.
couple 8s still.
so if he was to swap one of yours out for a 10, you could reuse the 8 that you have there
Where?
on the plotter.
No,
It's fried.
that's the reason it's getting fried is because it's an 8. So
yeah.
You cannot make any maps. I told them, we can't do anything until.
I just told
get-
Monday.
That's not good.
No. No.
That's the only capital we have between those three, or two
Yeah.
budgets that actually share that machine.
So that'll,
5,000 and you have none.
yeah, that'll be a
So I'd
Band-Aid.
suggest putting some more to the ink and paper next year and I won't pay for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Quite a lot.
That's,
Maybe for the next couple of years, you guys do that and.
Yep.
then we need an increase in
And
that.
I'd put a capital in there because, just for reasons like that,
Okay,
So we
in
do need a capital.
an assessor, right?
in the assessment.
Okay, then we should be okay there then.
Can we add that?
Yeah, I'll add it in there if the commissioners agree to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would take that up to 8,495.
Under the assessor.
Capital outlay.
Which is number what?
1-2.
12890.
What number are you suggesting, Cameron?
I would add 2,000
Okay.
minimum.
Yeah,
Maybe you have other equipment in your office that costs more than that potentially could go out and then you host. That's really basically what it's used for.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that machine was that close to being.
And you're at.
And then we need to make sure we have the proper-
Yes.
Computers to run it so it doesn't fry again. Up to date.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any other questions on the appraisal? Any other questions? Any other questions?
No.
Okay, that was a fairly short and easy one compared to, so does the assessor or the deputy have questions or should things you need to bring up for us on the appraisal budget?
yeah. I think that's it for that.
For that?
In general, it's a closing our
Sure.
closing statement. at the end,
Sure.
so.
Well, I'll open it to questions for the public on appraisal. Matt?
On the,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say on the appraisal budget, you do have 2,000. So we did, in
Is there?
case you ever need that, there's a
On capital.
capital.
Capital right here. Okay.
Okay, Matt?
Yeah, so the contract for the appraisal mailings are on the assessors. Worksheets. So I leave it out.
Yeah.
Any other question? Matt, any other?
No, that's it.
It's what?
I have one quick question, with you being short in your budget for the for the machine, why would you come to the commissioners out of county reserve, you can make a resolution and then bring it into your budget?
Mm.
That way, Tammy, you don't have to try to keep track of who's paying for what, in the next few years. Tammy, that doesn't hit your budget then.
Yeah,
Do what?
Utilize.
we don't really track like the ink and the paper, just wanna get a bill, we just sort of
Yeah,
go it out separately. But, I mean, I have it in mind. If you move it from reserve, it doesn't really know really.
Reserve.
I put in
But you
for
can't
next year,
move your budget up to theirs, but the reserve
Right.
can be moved to theirs.
right? But I don't know of anything I need this year for 5,000, so. And I budgeted 5,000 next year for it.
Yeah, but it just
As
gets
well.
washed out of that reserve, basically.
Okay. Any other thoughts or questions on this budget? Okay,
I want to talk about county general for the reserve, and that'd be the time to talk about that probably.
Madam Treasurer? Gary, no questions? No. Dope butt. New nicknames for him now. All right, so we've got our questions answered. I guess now we'll let the assessor have, if you have some closing thoughts or comments that you'd like to make.
well, one thing I'm really concerned about is that 1% increase. To me, that's a slap in the face to our employees, because we talked about a 5% earlier, and now we're off from a 1%. I think you can look at my budget in my matrix, and I was very, very, very conservative. You've got employees with 3-4 years clerical experience making more than some of the employees that have 30-32 years experience. I believe they're being punished for my being conservative, doing our matrix and stuff. Listen to the sheriff's office. The same thing. The sheriff's office going on with us. We have a tremendous amount of public records requests. We're dealing with hostile homeowners, anti-government homeowners. We're dealing with employees that are being attacked by dogs. Our appeals are way up. Our counter visits are increasing, and we're doing it with the same amount of people. I didn't ask for more people. I'm putting in 50-60 hours a week to cover this. I've done that for the last 6 years on the Silver Mountain appeal with no compensation. I'm here every day of the week. Even I'm supposed to be off on medical leave from a procedure I had Wednesday, but here I am. And I don't take vacations, and because I need, that office has to be covered. So that 1%, our appraisers, they have to be trained. They, same thing, they get their certification, they have to have their years in, and then they're getting picked off for employees. Sorry, I can name you 3 employees that went to the city of Kellogg that are making 17-18% more than our employees. They're giving a 3%. City of Wallace giving a 3%. Osborne's giving a 3%. Pinehurst giving a 5%. Mullins giving a 6%. School District 391's getting a 10%. So inflation 7.8, cost of living 7.8. So with that, we're giving them 1%. So we're expecting them to do less. They're taking a 6.8% decrease in their wages. They're dedicated individuals. And it's really busted their morale the last, once we've heard about that. There's no discussion amongst the elected on that whatsoever. We weren't involved in that. I think we should have been. We weren't. Our splits are up, so there's more property to take care of. There's new building going on. We've got to get that on the tax roll. And they're just working their asses off. And I think that 1% is just incomprehensible to me. Let me show you. But give me just a sec. This is our new appraiser, attacked by a dog yesterday. That's his arm where the dog bit him. This is his legs. That's just one of them. He's got puncture wounds in both of them. He's outside the fence. So this they deal with on a daily basis. We've had threats at our counter from upset property owners and stuff. So I don't know. You've got a discrepancy between employees, between the courthouse and your solid waste and your sheriff's office and your public works. Tammy's, you're down what? What's your longevity? What's the longest person you have?
Gail is the only
Besides
long
Gail.
person I have, and she's got 27 years. The longest next to that would be probably Rochelle, and she's got 6.
6 years. That turnover, she has no institutional knowledge. When she doesn't, that puts a lot of her workload over on us. Carrie's got new employees. So yeah, the sheriff's office is losing employees, but so are the rest of us. They're hemorrhaging left and right. So you got these employees that are unhappy here. And when the city of Kellogg needs someone, we're a basket of eggs. They come up, we'll take that one. Lucky Friday, we'll take that one. I mean, it's getting to be where your convenience store workers are making what our employees are, professional people. So that 1%, it's just making them more unhappy. And when the time comes to, if we're not dedicated to them, they're not going to be dedicated to us. And they take their Percy right with them if it's the city or the sewer district or the water district. Angela, she's working for home and making what,
27,000 more a year than.
$27,000 more a year. We can't fill those positions and stuff. You know, I'm extremely happy with the employees I have. I would put them up against anyone in the state of Idaho. I go to our conferences and I listen to the problems they have. These are dedicated folks. And that kick in the ass of 1% to them is totally unfair. So that's how I feel. I think it's incomprehensible that we're asking them to do more and more and more and give them a measly 1%. So
Let me ask, when's the last time your department, not counting cost of livings, but like what they did last year, I guess, with the sheriff and the road where they just moved them up? When's the last time they've done that with your?
many years. And we're being conservative. We know we're using taxpayers' money and stuff. I do offer them 410s. You know, the sheriff's office can't offer that. Neither can roads. You know, that's one thing that keeps them here. I take money out of my own pocket and we have lunches and stuff like that. And I treat them the best I can. You know, during the COVID, they all worked. We got our job done. Every one of our circuit breakers were done for the elderly people. We kept the office open. We worked our butts off and stuff. And they get gratitude from me, but that's it. You know, they go out, they deal with these hostile people all the time. They answer the questions and stuff. I'm so proud of them. I can't tell you how proud of them I am.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd rather be a jailer or an appraiser. I mean,
Well, and you did see during our appeal time, that's
Department
just a
in
tenth
this
of
county
it.
is just as important as the next. We
Exactly.
cannot function if we
So
don't all work
the
together.
past commissioners, I encourage them to do a wage study. And they never ever did. I believe some of this ARPA money that's coming up could be used for that.
Yes.
I think you need to look at that and see where we're at. It's not a problem that's going to be fixed overnight, but it does need to be looked at. I think you need to compare us to Fremont County, Franklin County, Washington County. Take a look at the elected. The elected are working 20, 30% under there. Tammy's here every day. Carrie's here every day. This down. You know, I think when you work salary, you're supposed to have some really long days, really long weeks in there. Then you're supposed to have some short weeks too to make up for that. 20 years, I haven't had one of those yet. So, and I feel guilty because my staff is working so hard. If I'm not here, I'm, you know, they're day in and day out. Bonnie, you've got 30. Terry's got 34. And I mean, they're having trouble using up their vacation and stuff because they're so dedicated. They're here. They want to make that office work, and they do day in and day out. We've got the best DMV we've ever had. Girls down there are just sweet. Unfortunately, Madison leaving us here shortly. So she's going to be a stay-at-home mom. So,
You know, we do understand the where you guys were left out, the clerks were left out in that last pay increase. And that's what we're gonna focus on.
okay.
One of the things is if we give more than the 1%, then we're giving everybody else, and that money's gonna be expended all the way around to the people that got it last year. So what we wanna do is we wanna look towards a wage study with Fremont and everything else. And we want to be able to somehow bring you guys up like the other guys were brought up. I mean, we have to have a
Equity.
consistent and equity, and it's right now it's inequity, and we know that, and that's part of that decision. So you know, it's gonna take some time to fix it. And, you know, I talked about that with Ben the other day, that it didn't fall upon deaf ears. But we can't just, throw money at the problem on that side. You know, we've got to kind of cut back and catch you guys up. You know, we've got to figure out how we're gonna do it. And like you said, it's not gonna be overnight. But we
look
have to have a
forward to
pay
working
inequity.
with
I
you.
can see it. I can see it in roads. I can see it in the sheriff's office. And I can, you know, the clerical, it's out of whack.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so we've got to do something, and we are going to work towards that. And that's our plan, whether it be a wage study or, but right now we've got to figure out how we're going to bring everybody up like everybody else got. You got a 7% raise last year.
Mhm.
And then one is this year's 8. That's better than Kellogg, but I'm not saying that that's good for that. But see, everybody got 10% except for you guys.
Right.
And so that's where we need to somehow figure out how we're going to catch people up and make it equal.
Mhm.
If we were to give out 5 right now, they would be getting that amount. And so we'd be behind the curveball. So somewhere we've got to start, get it fixed and go forward.
Thanks, Commissioner. I appreciate that. I look forward to working with you.
Okay.
You know, Katie here, she's
Amazing.
more than amazing. Without her, our appraisal staff would be woefully, as she's our commercial appraiser. She's probably making 80% less than what the commercial appraiser in Coeur d'Alene's making and stuff. And she is huge on education. She can go down and take those IAAO courses and score 90% on them. Any county in Idaho, even except for the 2 little ones, would double her wages to have her.
You understand? Yeah.
So, and the rest of them, James is getting invaluable. Corey, if he heals up, he'll someday be invaluable. But it's the same thing. You know, we've got a lot of money invested in them. And, you know, that gentleman that left and Katie's filling that position went over into Montana and is making 40% more than what he made here. So,
And you know all well about the, you know, our county, and that's one of the hard parts about our county is 80% of our land here
it's
is
bad.
fed. And so we can't compare ourselves to Coeur d'Alene or Kootenai because they have a broader tax base. So we've got to really kind of start looking outside the box of how we can increase our income in our county. And, you know, and I want to be able to talk to you about some of the RV parks that are going on and how we're, you know, I'd like to discuss that with you to see what we can do on.
And I'd like to visit with you guys how we could get some solid waste money from those recreational sites.
Yep, we're looking at
The
that too.
river and stuff, help with that. So,
Well,
and for those inequities, I'd take a close look at that. And it's not wages, but with that ARPA money, there could be some bonuses carved out for those people that didn't get that, to like a little Band-Aid for the time being. And then as we work towards that, to fix those discrepancies, it would sure help. So,
well, I'd like to commit to you publicly that I'm in support of using some of the grant money, or not grant, the ARPA money, for a wage study finally, because I don't know how many years we've been talking about that. And I'd like to do that in the 23-24 year. I also think that when we're done with the budget process, I know we've agreed upon at this point a 1% raise for everybody.
mhm.
I would like to look at if we have, and I don't know where we're going to be financially, but if there's any capability of trying to do something for the departments that didn't get the raises last year,
But we can't raise it after we post it. So
Right.
that's.
which is why I'm wanting to look at it the next day. Like,
It'll take me another week to put all this together again and get the levy rate done and in the paper by the 7th.
okay, well, I'm still committed to trying to look at how we can do
Good,
something.
and I appreciate that, Commissioner. So,
Okay, because we hear you.
Needs to be leveled out even.
It does.
My main concern is it's not done as soon as it can be done. You know, we have people sitting here that are just feeling the stress of it. I mean, the 1%, you know, feel like they're being just knocked down. I mean, the loaf of bread, the gallon of milk, still have to live, and they are taxpayers. They are just, and they understand just as well that they don't want their taxes to go up, but it is what it is. So, you know, it just
And-
really impressed how it makes me feel that I need to talk to them. I need to talk for them. They need to be appreciated because they are awesome to work with and they do an awesome job.
And two of our 65 years experience between two employees are going out the door here shortly. And so we've got some plans in place that if nobody decides to say, you know, I'm tired of this. Here, that happens, I'm in trouble. Well, you guys are in trouble because my time's limited here too. So I'm getting pretty close to retirement. So,
My goal is to make sure that they understand how important it is to get the numbers right, to turn over to you guys so that every taxpayer's treated equally and to the best of their ability following the law and making sure that they get those numbers out there the right way. So that when they turn them over to you guys, you have the best numbers you can to work with, because if they don't do their job, those numbers coming to you that create this is not going to be good work. And that's what it needs to be done. It's the best work we can turn over.
but that's why that wage study is, I think it'll be an eye opener for all of us. So,
What seems the only equitable way to seek equity. So
Yep. Let's get the information, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think the public would be surprised.
Yeah.
So.
And I think the public would be very proud of the courthouse staff they have if they came and worked with them for a day or two. And
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Assessor.
you.
Thank you, Deputy.
and look forward. Oh, DMV. That should be a quick one. Yeah. Thanks, Danny.
Something.
But I understand, right? One of my favorite DMV people is leaving.
Half of them.
Now, I say that to the other one too.
Well, and it's one of the most fantastic DMV people counties ever had was Madison's grandmother. Her grandmother would be very proud to see this down there. So, yeah, we're gonna hate to lose her.
Where is the DMV?
Number 26. It's like Fund 126.
Under
Current
current
expense.
expense.
Oh,
I don't know if it should be.
Well, next to your path money too.
Nothing wrong with it.
Oh,
Okay. Page 34 of current expense. No, take that back. Page 33.
33.
All right. Any questions or comments on salaries or benefits? It looks like.
Down.
Any questions on either of those sections? Any comments then, starting with the B budget, travel, office supply, copier and fax?
Okay, the phone amount.
The phone, we had a question on.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I don't know what we're doing with that. I don't know.
Taxes,
there is a fax
yeah,
machine
the
down
fax
there.
machine down there and something else. I don't know. I actually pulled the actual bill.
Did you?
If you look at, if you look at what you spend down there.
Yeah,
And
and I think
look
that's
at your
just
Phone bill
kind
from
of-
Zipley. And
I haven't been
from-
getting that, so I don't know exactly where, but
Okay, there's
I get the fax
Zipley
one.
bill and there's, which would be Zipley. There's your fax. And Mitel is the other one that's split by how many phones you have down there. They go through the Mitel phone system. So both of those are in there. And then there's
Yeah.
also the long distance, ALD, I think it's called.
that's the only one
ADL.
I've been
That's
getting.
long distance
Yep.
for your fax.
Yeah.
That's the fax.
That's why it's so.
But, and like Connie said, that's the only bill we've been getting. You know.
So well, Mitel bill you don't get. We just get
Right.
that electronically and we have a formula that splits it out better than the phone you have. The
Yeah.
Zipley bills you should be getting.
And we,
Not gotten any zip.
Yeah,
Well,
you
ask
should be
Melissa
getting your
then Where
copy.
they are, and she's coding them out for you, but
Get nothing from Zipley. The only one I get is the, fax machine. It's,
that
And-
is Zipley.
that
That
is,
is your Zipley bill.
that's for now. I finally got a hold of them and I got it yesterday, so
Okay.
okay.
it's like $5 a month though.
Is that the ALD one? That'd
Mhm.
be the ALD. That's different. ALD is a different company and that's the long.
That's the only
distance.
one I get is the ALD and it's $5 a month.
We don't-
I will make a note to send you.
Are there any other questions on page 34? Postage went down.
Yes.
And office went up, so that kind of cancels that out. So,
Yeah.
all right.
But why get
Office
postage down?
Most of our renewals are being sent to Boise now,
Yeah.
so we're not sending them out.
Yeah. When, if you ever notice when you get your renewal
Yeah.
and if you mail it, it goes straight to Boise.
Yes.
Okay. So do we have any questions on the department totals, which went down?
No.
I know.
I think we've answered our questions.
Yeah.
Any public questions? Anybody in the public? Peggy, no?
Well, I want to make a statement so they understand. When you commissioners asked that, we talked about, your question to me was to freeze. I was clarifying that. That was freezing any new positions so that you guys could get a handle on what the payroll was originally. And I've gotten a couple calls, asking. It wasn't to freeze wages, it was to freeze hiring new positions so that you could understand and address the 1% versus the 5%. So you
Yep.
could get a handle on that. So I just,
Yeah.
that might be some clarification for it.
Yeah, we've got to start somewhere and that's where we have to start. And with the, with limited funds, we need to, make sure that we're doing the right thing and moving everybody where they should be.
That's what we want to do.
Okay.
So,
Well, I appreciate it.
The other haymakers is, I did notice like the people with the longevity are, the people coming in are at the same rate as the years they put in here.
Yes, they are.
And
And
that's why we need to do a countywide
Yeah.
pay matrix. We need to do something. We need to get that
I
done.
think our longevity until last year stopped at what, 25 years?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So Connie and Terry sat there for 7, 8 years without any increase because they'd maxed out. And that's no way to treat a 30-year employee.
No.
Dedicated.
Nobody ever thought anyone could last that.
Yeah.
I blow my brains out first.
Yeah,
So,
and we
no.
appreciate you guys.
Okay, no other questions there? Any questions from anybody else in the room on motor vehicle? Okay, how long do you have with us? Okay, I'll try to get my next stuff down there.
I'll be there.
All right. Okay, then I think we are done with the assessor's budgets, right?
All through.
Got them all,
Okay.
because we did the one with you the other day.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, thank you for your
Thanks,
time.
guys. Thank you.
I would entertain a motion to recess for lunch for 30 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. So, yep, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Solid waste.